It's Joyce from Deer Creek Homesteading. Today I'm going to try something a little new. It's a tag of what are your plans for your farm homestead for spring 2020. I would like to tag a new friend of mine, the Frugal Farmer. I'm going to try to leave his link below. I have a list here because I didn't want to forget anything, so I probably will look down from time to time. But what I thought I'd do is go over my list, and then as I do them, bring you guys along and film it. So I'm just going to start. The first and most important thing that we want to do this spring is to get a pig. We bought the pig panels. We have the fencing, the T-posts. We're buying a feeder from a friend of ours. We started buying feed this weekend, and as soon as it warms up here, we're going to start building our pig pen and a little enclosure for the pig to stay in. We decided to get a female. So that's the first thing we want to do in spring 2020, and we'll definitely take you on that journey. I'm super excited to do this, and we'll show you, building the pen, getting the pig, what we feed it, how we feed it, all that good stuff. So that's my plan. Every one of these on the list will be another video to share with you guys. The second thing is we want to buy meat birds. Right now I have 10 laying hens and a rooster, and we got a dog run for the dogs, and it didn't work out. It wasn't as sturdy as we thought it was going to be. So we decided after we processed our rabbits that we want to put more meat in our freezer. So we're going to get some meat birds. And here in Michigan, I just got a notice on my phone that it was going to be chick days in February at Tractor Supply. So this will be any time now. We've already got the structure built. I'm not sure, my husband and I are kind of have different opinions on this. I would like to get the chicks, brood them up, and then once they're feathered, put them out in the new enclosure. He wants to buy them because we saw them last year already feathered and pretty much ready to go, so we don't have to brood them in the house, which is a smart idea, but I just love baby chicks and brooding them up. So we'll just have to see what we do with that. But that's really soon because, like I said, chicks, it's time, probably, I believe last year at this time, we moved in or signed our papers on the house the 21st of February, and within a week we had chickens. So that's the next thing. That'll probably be the first thing that we do on this list, is get some meat birds. And then they don't take long to grow up at all, and then we'll process them and put some meat in the freezer. And then hopefully they grow so fast we'll have time to do it at least twice this year. Next thing on my list is I want to put in grapes. I don't know, you call them grape bushes or what they're called, but my husband saw how our neighbor did his. It's kind of like a sawhorse type structure that the grapes grow, the vines grow up on that, and we'll have grapes. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I have a spot to put that in, so we're going to be doing grapes this year. And along that same lines, I have an area where I want to put in lots of berry bushes. I have strawberries already that'll come in the spring, but I want to do blueberry bushes, raspberry bushes, probably maybe 10 of them, and see how that goes, just to have more sustainable food on the farm that we grew ourselves. I do the keto diet, so there's not a lot of fruit I can have, but I can definitely have those. So doing the berry bushes and the grapes, putting those in this spring. Doing a bigger garden. I had a fairly decent garden last year, but we had just moved in, and the area we were putting our garden in wasn't ready to be planted. They had just put in fresh grass the year before, so we had to wait a year. So I had a decent sized garden. And the pumpkins did really well. I had pumpkins, I had green beans, I did some container potatoes, tomatoes, tried some watermelon. I think that was it. So this year we have big plans for a big garden. I don't want it to be huge and overwhelming. As a kid growing up, we had a huge garden that we all worked in, my parents and my sisters and I, but it's been a long time. And we both work full time, so it's got to be manageable, but I want it to be bigger the next year. And going along with that, I want to grow things that can help make us money. So I'm gonna have a pumpkin patch over to the side all by itself. And then I wanna do glass gem corn. I got some seeds in the mail, and they're just gorgeous ears of corn. They're all kinds of colors, pink, blues, yellows, greens. And then you just sell them in the fall for decoration. So we're gonna have a little stand on weekends that we sell the pumpkins, maybe some gourds or some different squash, and then the glass gem corn. So having a bigger garden and then also putting stuff in a separate patch of the garden that we can sell to try and make a little bit of money on the farm, you know, just to feed the animals and keep things running, maybe add some new structures, or, you know, get another chicken coop, another rabbit hutch, something like that. And the next thing is I'm gonna try something my friend gave me a book about. It's called No Weed Gardening. The book was called something like that. And I just want to do that in a small area between a fruit tree that we have and the chicken run. And it's just going to be an herb garden, but you start, and I'll probably start as soon as the snow is gone. And I've already started collecting cardboard. You just lay cardboard down in the size that you want your garden. Mine's just going to be a small herb garden. And then I'm going to start piling all my compost on top of that until it's pretty thick. The cardboard is going to be a barrier, hopefully, so nothing grows through and no weeds come through. And then you just, you know, keep churning and turning the compost until it's nice and thick, and then start my herb garden in the spring. The compost, I'm going to try to get it about that thick, but I'll take you along with me on that. That seems to me really interesting, and let you know how it works. That's why I'm starting small with just a small herb garden. I doubt I'll ever do like a huge garden like I plan on planting. That just seems like too much work, but forgive me, my YouTube notifications keep popping up right in front of my face, so I can't see myself anymore. There we go. So anyway, try the no weed gardening system. I'm gonna try again incubating our own chickens and quail. I did manage to successfully incubate 2 quails about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or so. It didn't turn out the way I wanted. There weren't enough to keep each other warm, and they need to be together, and I didn't even think the eggs were fertile, so that was kind of a surprise. So this time my goal is I want to successfully incubate out some of my own chickens and some of my own quail. Not a whole bunch, but just to kind of, I don't know the word, try and successfully do that. So learn more, you know, get some more information on it. And I'll probably only do, well, I'll do quite a bit of the quail because we eat those. And the chickens, I'll probably just do maybe 4 of them just to add to my breeding, or my laying hens, for more eggs. So they're not going to be part of the meat chickens. This one I've already done, is part of my spring 2020 plan. I wanted to add another breeding doe to my rabbits, and I kept one of the very first litter of our rabbits. We processed the other ones a couple weeks ago, and I kept one female. I think I showed you guys that. Her name is Clementine, and she is now number 2 in my breeding program. So I have 1 buck and 2 does. So that's one thing I can check off my list. I want to learn how to and make my own soap, and I'm hoping the Frugal Farmer, who I've tagged in this challenge, he said that he does that, and I thought he said he had a video on it. So I would like to watch that video and pick his brain and see how to do that. Hannah and I are going to take a Saturday afternoon together and learn how to make soap. I just been buying the molds and the measuring cups and watching videos and reading up on it. But that's something I want to try spring 2020, is to learn how to make my own soap. All right, so let's see. The last thing on my list, I didn't want to have too many things to do because I thought it might be overwhelming and too many projects going on all at once. But these seem like little projects that don't take too much time or too much money that we can accomplish this year. The last thing is to add a couple more fruit trees to the property. We have a mulberry tree. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That'll be a mulberry bush. I can't remember now. But we have a big tree out next to the chicken run that produces fruit, and lots of it. I don't eat fruit. My husband doesn't like that kind of berry, so we end up giving them to the chickens, or we'll give them to the pig. But That's one. And then we have 2 apple trees on the other side of the chicken run that I'd like to add at least 4 more fruit trees to that. We just want a mini orchard, and I think that's a, easy number. Won't cost too much to get 4 of them. Won't be too difficult for my husband to put it in, but we need to start. So the last thing on my what am I going to do spring 2020 to improve on, to increase the farm, the last thing would be to add some more fruit trees. So that is my list, and like I said, go and check out the Frugal Farmer. He's got a great channel. He's a really cool dude. I hope he sees this. I'm going to let him know. He already said he'd participate. So then we can go check out what he has to do for spring 2020. Thanks for watching, guys. Check us out on Facebook, Deer Creek Farm. And if you guys have any ideas or plans for your farm or homestead this spring, please leave a comment below. I'd like to hear. Thanks, friends. See you soon.